Hello, and welcome to the podcast that discusses all things gaming. Coming to you from the home of Indie PopCon, Gen Con, and the gaming capital of the world, we are The Established Facts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Established Facts. That's right. This is the real and official episode 180.
Promise.
And I would like to personally thank all of you for joining us on episode 180. I'm sorry that I missed your beautiful faces last episode because I wasn't here. Due to
our beautiful faces. I thought you were still talking to the listeners.
There's two. You know what, Josh? I don't judge. I don't judge.
They're a lot harder to see.
Except for when you're talking about Prime, and then it's like... So, yeah, thanks for joining us on episode 180. We have a lot of really cool content getting ready to come at you because we are going to do an actual play, another Session Zero actual play, and being run by none other than the esteemed and established Lance.
I am my own fact. I am an established fact.
He is an established fact.
I have to ask, how do you earn the title of esteemed?
You haven't earned that yet?
You put yourself in a pot of water with the
Thank you,
written
thank you, Lance, for filling that answer in for me.
Making engines, so
Making engines?
steam engines.
Oh, steam engines. Yeah.
Goggles.
Right. There you go. You asked.
I did.
It's your fault.
You all answered.
So, I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and go around the table and introduce everybody who is here, and then we'll get into episode 180.
When you say your name, please also say your character's name.
Okay. Lance, would you like to start then?
No, because I don't have a character name.
No, I meant like to tell people who you are and
You
what.
just introduced me.
Oh.
Well, this is Josh, and I will be playing Eloman from Lake Thomas.
Eloman.
Eloman.
He's Rasta.
He's Rasta.
I'm Avital, and I would. Bleh.
Those are words. Use them.
She speaks Orcish.
And I understand Undercommon, so we're good.
Quiet. I will be playing Iska, and I am from Shangri-Lavi.
I'm Prime, and I'm playing Jordan, who's from Josh and Addie.
Josh and Addie.
This is Dr. Deb. My character is Triple D, and I am from the small town in Hungary of Debrecen. That's a real place.
This is a real place.
That's a real place.
Because Debbie had to find a town
Factual,
name that
yes.
actually had her name
Well,
in
that's
it.
because she thought that's what he was asking for.
I was trying to follow the instructions, okay?
Yeah.
Rule follower.
This is true.
This is Vanessa. I am Hayes because my daughter said if she has a son, she's going to name him Hayes, so I figure I'll use the name. And I am from Vanvania.
Vanvania.
Is Dracula hanging out there too?
That's right.
Could be.
And I am playing Sloan. This
Or
is,
Slogan.
Or Slogan, yeah, depending
Who are
on
you, though? We
which
don't
part
know
of the
who you are.
conversation you jumped in. Yeah, I know.
Who are you?
And I am, of course, your host, Big Don.
Are you IRL?
In real life, I'm playing Sloan.
Slogan.
Slogan.
Slogan Sloan.
The raging
Sloan slogan.
Wolverine type pitchman for every marketing company ever. Slogan. I'm gonna change my name to Slogan. And I hail from the town of Downton Abbey.
So we have Josh and Addie and Daunton Addie.
No,
Downton
Downton
Abbey.
Daunton Abbey.
You know, like
Thank
Downton
you. That's
Abbey.
why I asked.
Only-
I'm trying to figure
Only
it out.
it's kind of goofy redheaded cousin Downton Abbey.
Sure.
Daunton Abbey.
And of course, you guys can hear Maggie, who will be, I'm sure, chiming in throughout because she wants to
She's
watch
playing
us
herself. Maggie
Yes.
is playing herself. She's
From
like,
wherever.
Daddy, why are you talking about me on the microphones? I'm now very embarrassed. So
play. Sorry.
it's okay.
Okay, Game Master.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Let's begin. This is your session 0, part A. So it begins.
Dun, dun,
Tumultuous
dun.
relationships with other races forced humans into exile in the colony of Lansylvania, a small cluster of islands in the Andre Sea. The 6 islands are, state your city names, please.
Oh. City names?
I have to start. Shangri-La.
Josh and Addie.
Debrecen.
Vanvania.
Downton Abbey.
And Lake Thomas.
Rarely do the inhabitants of the islands intermingle, save for trading goods back and forth. However, this year they are holding a special conclave. The Acolytes, 6 young men and women from each of the islands, have been chosen to represent their homeland in a contest of champions to prove they deserve the title and power that comes with being an acolyte. A meeting like this happened only once before, and that was a few centuries ago. The people are in excellent spirits, considering. You see, while this is their tricentennial celebration, and getting to mingle with fellow humankind from other islands is reason for anticipation and excitement, it is also the harbinger of a great and terrible evil that will soon be visited upon the land. And this contest is not only for homeland pride, but also to muster up Lansylvania's newest heroes to train them for the coming mission to save the world. Each player has a character sheet with a 0-level character in front of you. Go ahead and look over that if you haven't already and kind of get yourself familiar with the character. As we progress, you will update your sheet and stats with flavor to flesh out your acolyte. First, give us your character's name, which you've done. And starting with Deb and working our way counterclockwise around the table, describe your entrance into the contest of champions.
So, Triple D is my name. And boldness is my game. So I am not subtle. I'm not quiet. I am so excited to be here. So as I'm walking in, I mean, I'm talking like it's fist pumps. It's like, crazy yelling, which I'm going to have mercy on a microphone and not do that for you all. But it's wild arms flaring. I might have accidentally spit on somebody. I was so excited. So, and then I basically bolt down okay, I'm sorry. I'm picturing like a WWE entrance, but like someone who's like had way too much caffeine behind there as they were getting ready to come out. So, and they like bolt straight down the ramp gate. I don't know. Are we on a ramp? We're on a ramp. I said we're on a ramp. So we're on a ramp and running
Yes,
straight
and.
down. Yes, and. Yes, yes. And it's like this crazy. I'm so excited to be here. I can hardly contain myself. I had 14 cappuccinos before I came out. So.
All right. So my character's entrance is pretty much so going to be the opposite of that in almost every aspect.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan. Cricket.
I'm literally just walking down the ramp like a normal person, looking extremely uncomfortable with being around such a large crowd.
Hi, guys.
And, I just make my way to the center of the...
There's one guy from Josh and Addie who stands up. Yeah!
And I just kind of like
Phil.
avoid eye contact with them.
That's great.
So.
All right. Yes, I say that a lot.
You do.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just the music that's playing as you walk in.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. Yeah, there is a lot of people. The people from Shangri-La that are here, watching. They do have instruments and stuff, and they are playing me a tune as I walk in. It's kind of light and airy and type thing, and so I enter, walking down the ramp. See, this is why I write, because I can just think of the word and not have to think
Say
of
it.
Say it on the spot.
You had so much time to write.
A whole 2 people.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see how long her entrance was? It was huge.
There's not a ton of fanfare, but I'm just fairly confident, just walking down and kind of nodding at people and enjoying the music of my people.
So now that we've introduced that there is a stage, a ramp, and apparently a crowd with only one person from Josh and Addie.
It's my mom.
Thanks, Mom.
In part of the crowd, you will see if anyone has seen the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium where there's like a pool of people that hang in and out of.
There's a pool?
Yeah, there's a pool.
Yeah, there's a fan zone.
There's like a fan zone
area.
where the pool is, but
There's a
it's
pool.
only people from my country.
So like
from
a
my
snake pit.
city.
They're all
Did they bring Lake Thomas?
and they're all Rasta, so
brought
they're
Lake
like,
Thomas.
"Hey, what's up going on, man?"
Bob
Josh,
Marley
I will
played
give
him.
you inspiration if you can speak in a Rasta voice the entire time.
I can't. I appreciate you offering that, but I can't.
5 or 6 pan drums. Ding, 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 ding,
But
ding, ding, ding.
so they've got this like little pool area set up.
You eat is
and-
always green, huh?
One guy jumps out of the pool and goes over to this spotlight and hits it on the stage. And a single spotlight shows up, and there I am standing going, yeah! As they-
Thumbs up and everything.
That's right. And introducing,
Hacksaw Jim Duggan style.
they introduce Eloman, the illuminated one. See?
The illuminated one.
And yes, of course. Now that since it's become Rasta as a thing, my music is now steel drums.
It's reggae, man. It's reggae.
It's reggae. As if sung by Bob Marley. My Walk My Way Down.
Oh my gosh.
Crowd's loving it, and mostly the people in the pool because they're like drinking and half high.
There's a
and-
cloud of smoke just hazily over that pool.
Oh man. That's great. Okay.
It's mini Lake Thomas.
That's Mini Lake Thomas. There
we
you
have a
go.
portable version of it we bring to all our events. we tailgate the pool.
Pool gate.
Nice. Okay, so
Watergate?
right. So once the pan drums and so forth quiet down, all of the lights go out in the arena. And there is this subtle rise of this heavy tribal drum, do 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 do, and all of a sudden you see these purple and green and yellow lights begin to flicker on the ramp and on the stage, and out of nowhere a voice comes out and rings across the arena. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome the man of the hour from Downton Abbey, Slogan! And I come out, arms raised, with this huge gold belt across my waist.
You made yourself.
That's right, that I made out of the crafting supplies in the back while everyone was coming up to the ramp. Glitter everywhere.
Glitter?
That's right, and I come out and I'm just so super pumped, and of course, almost knocking my cup off of the table here, and I come just bolting down the ramp, and just as I get to the end of the ramp, I stop and slide across the rest of the floor right before the arena.
Is the slide on purpose?
Yes.
You mean right before wherever we're sitting? Because you've obviously imagined a ring, but there's not a ring there. So.
I don't care. Yes, and sucker. It's there.
By the way, where are we sitting? Like, are we just going to like a big conference
Are we
table,
sitting?
or
I didn't think we were sitting.
That would be the
why
most
would we-
depressing thing.
What are you
Ladies
doing?
and gentlemen, welcome the avatars. I've called you all to this meeting so that we can discuss the procedures from here on out.
The stocks have been rising.
A meeting with a
or it's a big Jeopardy, like a big Jeopardy
yeah,
event?
that's
There's
right.
this
Welcome
television
to
screen to answer questions.
Jeopardy, yeah.
Or in French, Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
out there.
Sorry.
Welcome. Bonjour.
Actually, you know what? We haven't answered that question. Vanessa's the last one. Maybe she can.
I can, because I've been there ever since Triple D came in.
Oh,
And she's just like,
Yeah, I just snuck in right behind her. She was doing this whole big, big fanfare thing, and I'm just
Right.
Sneaking
They
in.
announce you, and you just kind of step out like, "Hi."
You're like, oh, yeah, I'm already there amongst all of
Hayes. Hey,
you. Yeah, been
like
standing here the whole time.
like attendance in 4th grade. Hayes, here.
Present.
Yes, I walked in early.
That's great.
All right. So, as the 6 of you make your way into this stage, and I'm going to say that each of your entrances happened in the exact order that it happened. You will notice that as each person enters, though they may be wearing different clothing, they look very familiar. In fact, eerily familiar. In fact, a mirror image of yourself.
So our physique, so our faces,
Your faces, your appearance. While your clothes is different, your muscle.
Okay.
You know, no one's super bulky, even if they did make themselves a giant belt.
as if we were sextuplets that were split up.
Something along those lines. I mean, people who are twins and triplets, they look very similar. They may have something that
Sure.
makes them look slightly different. You all look
Identical.
exactly
Got it.
the same. Now, you are all the chosen ones from your specific areas, and you have been briefed on the rules of the contest of champions that is about to occur. So you know that, in fact, you are going to go to various parts of this small arena to compete in contests, games of skill or battles of wits, as the case may be. And what's going to happen now is we're going to have the first version of the contest, and I will read to you. In all eras of human existence, wars between mankind have been fought. From those wars came games. At first, strategy and training simulations, then, over time, contests between less aggressive opponents, and finally, games wherein friends and families gather to pass the evening with entertaining competition. This contest of champions is a bit of all three. There will be 6 pre-selected games, and the winner of each game will determine which attribute that particular acolyte will represent and how they will further their character development. Once a game is won, there will be a discussion amongst all the players. Then we'll move on to the next game, with any previous winners sitting out.
Ooh.
Though they are encouraged to provide encouragement and commentary, as this is an audio recording. Are there any questions before we begin?
If you choose to accept this mission.
Dun, 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 dun. Any questions? No?
No.
Then we will move on. The first competition will be for the Acolyte of Charisma. What we're going to do is we're going to play a small round of super fight.
That is not allowed to be you.
I will pass
Okay.
out 3 cards to you. I mean, you'll select 3 cards, but you'll get 3 cards. And you're going to use those 3 cards to determine your team. And your team will be tasked with telling everyone how you defeated the Jabberwocky. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pass around cards. Each player will get 3 of the white cards from the Super Fight deck. They will then make their team, and they will come up with how they defeated the Jabberwocky. We had a roll-off, and we have decided that Vanessa will go first. So, Hayes, you and your team come up with how did you defeat the Jabberwocky?
So I'm a part of my team, or is my
You
team
are a
just
part of
these
your
3
team.
characters?
It's you and your team.
Me and my team. See, that totally changes things for me. All right, I got to rearrange. No, I don't. So the Jabberwocky comes, and none of us have truly decided exactly what a Jabberwocky is. We know it's a big monstery thing, kind of dragon-like, maybe furry, maybe like a dragon and a yeti had a kid, maybe. We're going with
Daddy.
that.
He's a daddy.
He's a daddy. He's a daddy. Okay.
A yaggin.
He's a yaggin.
Yagen.
We're just going to say.
my name is Yagen.
So the Queen of the Fairies gets this notice that there is a unknown character or unknown creature in her land, and she wants to get taxes because they're in her land, and she needs to get the taxes for them. So she sends me, the Knights Who Say Knee, and the Killer Rabbit. because that's who you send, of course, when you want to go collect taxes.
Wow, you've got 2 references from Monty Python in the same draw.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. She had the killer rabbit on there. Yeah, she did.
Big pointy teeth.
And the only way to kill a killer rabbit is with a big bomb. Anyway,
That's right.
so bombs are very good for me. The knights who say knee just go over there and constantly say knee repetitively until they annoy the Jabberwocky to no end, and he starts to move out of the way into the killer rabbit. And then he looks and he says, wait a minute, I know you. The killer rabbit and the Jabberwocky are cousins. So the killer rabbit says, hey, you owe the queen taxes. Jabberwocky says, okay, that's fine if I choose to live here. I haven't decided yet. I'm just looking around. And he decides, all right, I'm going to stay. How much are the taxes? The queen of the fairies says,
5 sickles, 2 newts, and I don't know.
you're the queen of the fairies?
That's
Yes.
great.
All right, so I have the queen of the
5
fairies now.
sickles, 2 newts, and a small fat child.
And the color of your hair.
We need a shrubbery.
We have to have a shrubbery. Shrubbery has to be in here. It was going to be a shrubbery, but, the queen of the fairies jumped in.
As queens tend to do.
They do.
I want a newt.
And a shrubbery.
And a sickle to cut the shrubbery, obviously.
And a sparrow.
A herring.
And a herring.
We're not going to get through this in less than 4 hours.
And a
I'm just saying.
coconut,
Yes.
to make horse sounds.
Coconut horse, yep.
Yeah, of course, because that's everything that's required. And the Jabberwocky says, I can't do that. I can't live here. It's just way too expensive. And Hayes says, all right. Or me, I guess, because I'm Hayes. I say, well, you have to pay the taxes because you've showed up. And he goes, all right, fine. He pays the taxes. And that's the end. That's how we defeat the Jabberwocky.
Made
him
the
pay his-
Jabberwocky pay
Made-
taxes.
Made the Jabberwocky
It's-
pay
it's-
taxes because
it's an
he was
economic
related
victory.
to
Obviously,
the killer
property
rabbit.
taxes if she's
It was-
looking for a place to live.
Yeah.
In
Well, it's-
civilization terms, it's an economic victory.
That's it.
So a Jabberwocky is a dragon and a yeti and a killer rabbit
Cousin.
had a baby. Yeah.
All right, Vanessa, choose the next person.
That would be me again. So I'm not going again.
She is rolling a d6.
I am rolling a d6 to see who is going.
those of you listening
so
to that.
it would be Josh because he's the second one over.
So, Elamon and his team of the Witch King and the Manticore are joined by Gimli from the Lord of the Rings.
You got the
of course.
Lord of the
have
Rings
two-
section.
so you
I have 2
Lord of the
references to Lord of the Rings. I know. It's crazy. Now, for those who know anything about the Manticore, the spiked-tailed, beast-looking creature from D&D lore, he has a serious issue.
Isn't like a lion and a scorpion have a baby?
Kind of like that, yeah.
With wings.
He has a serious issue with the Jabberwocky because he's the only one that should be known as the, dual monster bad guy of them all. So he's already upset. And so he squares off the Jabberwocky before any conversation can even occur. Of course, the Witch King has somehow made his way back after being dealt with by Gimli the first time. They have decided to come to terms, and a fight ensues.
They came to terms.
He came to terms.
Would you like to parlay?
We will discuss this issue
Was there
after
glove across the face for this?
a glove across the face. Now, Elamon has always been a part of a culture where fighting is the last thing we want to do. So he just steps back and allows the fight to occur. And after 20, 30 minutes and nobody's really dying and everybody is just down and hurt and just doesn't understand exactly what they should do. He goes to his little portable Lake Thomas and asks for the special batch.
Oh. Okay.
He then takes the special batch, puts it into a cauldron in the center of this kind of circle of heroes and monsters that have been just beating themselves up for a half an hour, and lights the special batch, filling the area with smoke. And within 5 minutes, everyone is the best of friends,
Hey, Hayes, it's a hey.
defeating the Jabberwocky by way of ganja.
All right, well done. Who's next?
Deb.
So, I am leading a fascinating team because currently I have the Night King and his servant, the attractive stable boy. Please no, the attractive stable boy, not his brother, the unattractive one. The attractive
What's
one.
the unattractive
Right,
one?
the attractive one is who is the servant to the king. And last of all, they have a sphinx.
Oh,
So I'm still, I'm imagining in my head how the Sphinx gets around because the Sphinx doesn't move. So I'm thinking that there must be some portal jumping happening here. So I'm thinking that he can just cast, move on himself.
The Sphinx
So-
and the Manticore, they're cousins. They just kind of came in the same van.
Okay, so
Deb, describe a sphinx, please.
a Sphinx, well, the one in Egypt, which is the only Sphinx I know of, is a enormous statue carved out of stone, which has, right?
Yeah.
My husband made a face. He makes faces, and then I get
I do.
confused. Okay.
You
It
gotta
is
live with that,
basically
woof.
no comment. All right. It was basically it's got the paws of a lion.
It's
Usually sitting on. It's lying on all fours. The paws. The face has got the head of the old pharaoh hat, but it's a face of a human. But the actual Sphinx has its nose chopped off.
Can't smell.
Can't smell. But so face of a human attached to the body of a lion, basically lying down on all fours.
So you're going to attack
And-
this
and
guy
wings.
with a statue?
That is correct.
And wings of an eagle.
And the wings of an eagle. That's true. That's correct. I don't know who came up with
It's
this
a-
design. I
it's-
think they were on the stuff that Josh just used
Right.
when they
The
designed
mythological sphinx is the body of a lion, the head of a woman, and the wings of an eagle, I think.
this.
So it's a
Correct.
lion, an eagle, and a person had a baby.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
I don't know if it was a baby as much as it was like
Cub?
shoved
They're
together.
considered-
Magical baby.
They're technically considered
Magical
chimera.
baby.
Any form of a monster with multiple monsters is considered a chimera. So
I thought that was the goat, the snake. and
that is a version of
That's
so
the
does
Greek chimera.
yeah.
Anyway, your
So,
sphinx,
our Sphinx
is
feta.
something that people go to pay to see in Egypt.
Yes. Yes.
It's a-
yes. Exactly.
It's a big
They have a huge
statue
stone sculpture.
yes.
Nice.
that they get to
I
go
love
attack
it.
with.
Yes.
I love it.
So we all arrive. We are all riding the Sphinx. So myself, the Night King, and the attractive stable boy are riding the Sphinx because
we
he's
put
big enough.
wheels on it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Da, 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 da,
I'm still
da,
thinking
da, da,
portal
da.
jump is going to be way more convenient. But anyway, so we arrive and the three of us, gracefully hop off of the Sphinx. And the Sphinx, not being incredibly mobile in and of itself, begins to have a conversation with the Jabberwocky in Jabberspeak, which is basically
In jibber jabber.
That's
That is the origination of gibberish.
It is.
Jibber jabber.
Jibber jabber, yes, and hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Oh, Frabjus Kalu Calais, he chortled, blah blah blah. So something close to
What
this.
the heck just happened?
She said chortle.
Quoting.
Chortle. I'm quoting. Thank you. Avi knows what I'm doing. It's a quote from Lewis Carroll.
Some people read.
You should try
Who
it.
does that?
Well, seriously, everyone needs to have a Frabjus Day, and if you don't, you need to have
really?
one. Yes.
Is that like a frappuccino?
Yes. Actually, they're coming on sale at Starbucks in October.
Without whipped cream, please.
So while the Sphinx is distracting the Jabberwocky in Jabberspeak, also known as gibberish, apparently. The attractive stable boy, who is now also working as the armor bearer for the Night King, makes sure that the Night King is properly accoutramented. He has his shield, he has his buckler, he has his sword drawn, and he starts going after the Jabberwocky. But the thing is, the Sphinx actually kind of likes the Jabberwocky because he's the only one that speaks fluent Jabberspeak on the planet. So we don't really want him to die. So at the last minute, the Sphinx, who can actually move apparently, reaches out, takes a huge paw, picks up the Jabberwocky just as the king is getting ready to shove the sword through him and says, no, we can negotiate this. To which the king is very ticked off because, like, are you kidding me? His head was going to be mounted on my wall. So the Sphinx is like, how about this? If the Jabberwocky is able to work for you, if there's ever anyone who speaks Jabberspeak, he can translate. He can be the translator for your entire court into Jabberspeak. Or if you really want to confuse your enemy, he can just, yell out the terms for their surrender in Jabberspeak, and they won't know what they're talking about, and they would agree to whatever he says in Jabberspeak. This could be a fantastic thing for negotiating with other countries. And to which then the king says, you know what, I need to be the king who has a man or a being for every occasion. So the king agrees to hire the Jabberwocky.
A man or being?
Being.
Not a being.
Being. Because he's not really a person.
man or
he's a
being.
thing.
For
Mice and
any
men
occasion.
of person and bee.
Yes.
This situation calls for a green bean.
And since the Jabberwocky was already having the issues
Frijole negro.
with the economic issue that it was having during Hayes's encounter. So the king hires the Jabberwocky to be his personal liaison / interpreter into Jabberspeak. So the Jabberwocky has a job to work for the Night King.
None of us have actually conquered the Jabberwocky.
No one has killed the Jabberwocky.
He said defeat, right? He said
say defeat.
That's true.
I am following the rules.
I'm agreeing. We're all defeating the Jabberwocky. I'm just pointing out, not a one of us has even slightly attacked the Jabberwocky.
I think we need
That's not
diplomacy
true.
for this.
I got into a fight with him.
You
And
did.
the Night King
And
did
then
too.
you got him high.
The Night King did get into a fight, and then
No,
the
he
Sphinx
tried
saved him.
to.
No, he was a fight, and then the Sphinx saved him from the fight.
Okay.
I was there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I saw the whole thing.
she should know.
sorry, Triple D. My bad.
All right, who's next?
Who's next?
Yeah, who's next?
Triple D. Who's
You get to
next?
choose.
Prime.
I love how
right.
this has turned into a let's roll a dice and choose somebody.
I'm just gonna say name whoever's next after me. I'm just gonna
Thank
1, 2, 3.
tired
I
roll.
know.
At least roll a die
I
first.
started it.
I'll roll a die that means nothing. Okay, cool.
Even or odd, that would matter.
Well, it's not stopped moving. You're like,
So my amazing team is a hill giant,
Oh, yeah.
a warg, and a gelatinous cube.
You won with the gelatinous cube.
And me, of course, the guy who suffers from social anxiety. This is going to be great.
It's gonna be the quietest,
That is not
quietest
canon.
huddle ever.
You must have social anxiety.
That's going to be written
great.
into your character now.
And yet you're the champion for Josh and Addie. the
Well,
social
in a town
anxiety.
of 10. No.
That says so much.
They all live 10 miles apart.
Yeah, Josh and Addie is a small town.
Do they all have social anxiety? Is
And,
this a town
Well,
problem?
that's why it's so small. Is they don't want to see each other because they all are socially anxious.
And I don't have any kind of experience with riding wards personally, so jumping on top of this guy's back and riding into the
Just as long as you don't ask the
Arena
gelatinous
or
cube
whatever.
to ride the warg, you should be fine.
that's out of the option. Plus, I've never really encountered a ward personally.
Warg.
If you look at it more personally, Josh Marner, we have a lot of issues.
Wards, nothing. Anyway, so the gelatinous cube, the hill giant, and the warg all come in at the same time. They're all in different positions. One's behind. The warg will be behind. The hill giant will be to the left. The gelatinous cube will be to the right, and I'll be to the front of this Jabberwocky, right? Well, all the gelatinous cube is doing, because it has no mind of its own, is cleaning the arena. So it's literally just going
It's a
around the
gelatinous cube
circle.
street sweeper, circling the arena. Very
Is his name Roomba?
A Zamboni.
he's absorbing things.
He's like
He
a
started
Roomba.
out the size of like a small saucepan. When he shows back up, he's the size of an elephant.
When he comes around the front of the Jabberwocky, he has the unattractive stable boy.
Yeah, exactly.
If it is not in a dungeon that has rectangular or square walls, does it stay a cube or does it become like a jello bowl?
That's open to interpretation. So
It's a gelatinous dome, sponge pan.
And so that's happening. The hill giant was told that he needed to defeat the Jabberwocky, so he's literally trying to break the Jabberwocky's ankles.
Defeating him. Defeating him.
And the warg is chasing his own tail at the moment until like he smells blood, and then he'll go towards the blood. But either way it goes, between a Jabberwocky and a hill giant, the warg isn't going to last very
It's
long.
like herding cats.
And I am standing in the background watching all of this chaos happen, trying to avoid the gelatinous cube as it passes by me every once in a while.
Take 2 steps back as it walks by.
Yeah, exactly. And so finally, we'll set the hill giant will take his giant club that he has and knock the Jabberwocky unconscious. And the gelatinous cube will run over it as it's sleeping. So.
But did he get his
way to
feet?
wake up.
That's what I want to know. Did he get his feet?
I mean, probably.
Did he defeat him?
He might have.
Okay.
Or the feet might have been all that was left. I don't know.
I'm so sorry. I have to admit to myself right now, I just got that.
Come on. Did he defeat him?
So Josh is the hill
They got
giant.
one.
Got it.
He got one. They call him Hobble.
Is he now the Hobblewalkie?
Hobblewacky. Hobblewacky. Oh my goodness gracious.
Okay, roll.
Okay,
Or choose.
Avital.
All right. Well, Iska and has her team. There is a nymph. There's Gandalf, and there's Tiamat.
Wow.
Because I didn't know what the first card I drew was.
The nymph must be really confused right now.
What am I doing here? You're the cheerleader, sweetie.
Don't knock cheerleaders. That's a sport too.
I'm not.
Okay.
It's like the most dangerous
I
sport.
mean, it requires, athleticism and physicality just as much as any other sport. Anyways,
Yes, and not falling and dying. Or breaking your
mean-
back. Anyway, go on to your
I think
Jabberwocky.
this is kind of a life
Yeah.
rule.
Oh, don't fall
and die.
I think that's a good point. That's
Or break
a
your
good-
back.
Or break your back. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't. Anyways, so, Iska and the nymph, since Iska doesn't have like a lot of specific skills at this point, they are like kind of working together to distract the Jabberwocky, like with music and dance, because that's the kind of the nymphs. That is a hard word to say. The nymphs
The
thing.
nymphi.
So they are trying to distract the Jabberwocky, and while they are distracting the Jabberwocky through song and dance, but not like raucous. It's like it's smooth and
It's like smooth jazz.
yeah. So while they are-
Tiamat singing 5-part harmony.
Tiamat is singing 5-part harmony,
That's good. That's good.
but that's obviously
The
not
Black Dragon's obviously the bass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the White Dragon really never knows where they're
What-
at
yeah,
in the
doesn't know the
music. There's
lyrics.
just kind of
Mumbling.
lots of oohs and ahs.
I thought that was watermelon. If you don't know the word,
Yeah,
say
there you go.
watermelon over and over.
And then, so if the black head gets cut off, does that mean that we drop the bass?
Oh.
And then the red one is ska, so you pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Oh my god.
It's okay. The blue one only knows the electric slide, so.
Oh. Stop.
It's electric.
Stop.
Anyways,
Green one's on acid.
green one is it?
He must be from where Josh is from.
The white one is sleeping.
What?
It's too cold.
Okay.
I'm sorry you get to complete the story, I promise.
Just Vanilla Ice.
This is what happens when you throw a writer in a room full of talkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting next to a guy with ADHD.
I mean, I have ADD also.
Perfect.
So that's good. Good times. Anyway, so while Tiamat is singing 5-part harmony, Tiamat's a she, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yes.
He answered categorically, definitely. And
Yes.
you're like, sure. we'll go with
Bahamut is male, Tiamat is female.
that. Yeah. I just read
I never asked personally. so-
I just read the book, the dragon book.
Oh, the Dragonlance with Takesis?
No. I
Oh.
read the D&D dragon. book.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I was
Draconomicon?
preparing for my one shot. I
Oh.
read lots of books about dragons.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, which is why I recognize the name at all.
Good one.
Anyways, so Tiamat isn't used to this method of attack, but is going with it since that's apparently what we're doing. And
So Tiamat is yes anding?
of course she is. But so that's currently the distraction. And Gandalf is going along with the distraction method, and he's got his pipe out, and he is doing some fantastic smoke rings, and like with the ship and all that. If you've seen Lord of the Rings, he does really good smoke rings and makes ships out of smoke and et cetera, et cetera. So he's blowing smoke rings and smoke ships around the Jabberwocky's head, and it hasn't seen anything like that before in the wherever it lives. No one does that. No one does that. So it is definitely there's this nice music and dance going on. There's this smoke rings. And so it's definitely distractive. The little smoke ship is flying around its head. It's kind of following it with its eyes. So it's kind of ends up turning around in a circle. And as it's doing that, Tiamat, who is probably obviously the biggest and strongest out of this whole group, takes the moment of extreme distraction to just jump in and jump on top of the Jabberwocky and just literally pin it down easily with arms and legs and jaws.
So I have a question. If Gandalf will go one-on-one with Balrog, do you think he'd go one-on-one with Tiamat?
They're on the same
think
team.
about that. I understand right now they are, but it's kind of one of those weird situations. He doesn't have a problem taking on
Balrog
the
only had one head, not 5.
I understand that, but he was like a demon lord, and it was just all over him.
They'll spar later.
Oh, they'll spar later. Yeah, okay.
Enemy of my enemy.
There enough.
And all that.
And we're done because Don's not allowed to go because he's not allowed to win this one.
He is
can't
allowed
be
to go.
A charisma character.
Got to hear him.
So the Jabberwocky is entirely pinned down, and with the threat of getting all of its appendages bitten off by 5 heads of a god dragon.
Yeah, dragon god
It
thing.
is
Goddess.
entirely
Goddess.
defeated.
Entirely defeated.
All right, Avatar, who goes next?
The one.
Hold on, roll your die.
Yeah, roll that die.
On a 1 to 6, it's Don.
On a 1 to 6, it's Don.
BillCon 2015.
Ah,
See?
it is Don.
There is a 1 in there.
There is a one.
All right. So after watching the amazing episodic battles that have happened with each one of these teams,
It's only
slogan.
been 2 battles.
Okay. Confrontations, poker games, whatever you want to call them. Slogan makes a phone call,
You need a slogan.
and
Oh, he's got a lot.
thank you. Slogan makes a phone call, and again, upon his turn, all of the lights go out, and one single beam of spotlight shines on the stage.
yeah, that's my thing.
As 6 roadies come out and start frantically building this stage within a matter of seconds. and they put up these big signs. And on one side, you see the rock sensation Squad of Bandits. And on the other side, you see Rock Golem themselves. Ooh. And both bands come out and begin playing this insane metal medley of music.
Is it the greatest song in the world?
It is
That
the
was some great
greatest
alliteration.
song in the world.
Or is it a tribute?
But they have no lead singer until coming down from the rafters slowly is this
Is it the HBK descent from
bulbous
heaven kind of
yes,
picture? Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, the descent from heaven thing.
That's right. This bulbous ball of lights and glitter and mirrors as the beholder comes down from the rafters
Disco Behold.
and grabs the mic and just goes, yeah! and melts the Jabberwocky's face off.
And you know how big a beholder's mouth is?
Huge. Huge.
You could eat the world.
even know if you can see it.
It's like watching the lead singer of Aerosmith,
It's true. Yeah. That's it.
Steven Tyler.
That's
All right.
Rock-
Very, very well told.
Squad
Very
of Bandits
humorous,
and Rock
many of
Golem.
you. We are now going to do a secret ballot. So if you will, the square of paper in front of you that was just passed out, please write who you think made the best defeat of the Jabberwocky. You may not vote for yourself.
Can we have a brief reminder from everybody of what they did?
Haynes.
Like really, really brief.
So Vanessa's won with an economic victory due to the taxes. He made the Jabberwocky pay his taxes. I defeated him because the king ended up hiring him to be his translator and ambassador to the Jabberwocky people.
Prime actually defeated.
So hers was a political victory.
Mine was a political victory. Prime actually defeated him. The hill
By
giant
taking off
bonked him
his
on the
feet.
head and defeated him.
correct. To remove one's foot.
It was a physical victory, yes. You actually, let's see, did you actually defeat him? No, wait.
I
Yes.
forced them into submission.
You forced
Yes.
him. So you won with a submission hold.
No, I mean, hers was a. Why don't we say a food victory? Because Tiamat ate him.
Yeah.
Just pretty much.
Okay.
Joshua's chemical warfare.
Mine was
Josh's warfare. It's true. And Don's was the
Musical
best
victory.
rock concert of all time.
Mine was psychological warfare
For everyone else.
for everyone else.
This isn't fair.
Good times.
Dun, 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 dun.
So while the voting is coming together, I'm going to throw a quick announcement to everybody. It was made official this last week. PopCon Fort Wayne, the last weekend in December before New Year's, is official. So Saturday, Sunday at the Fort Wayne Convention Center, I believe.
Grand something.
Grand Floridian.
No.
No, that's in Orlando. Sorry, hold on.
in
It's actually
Florida.
like Buena Vista, Florida.
I think it might be like
That was
Grand
great,
Lane. I
Josh.
don't know.
Nope.
Buena Vista.
So,
I
anyways,
stayed there. We're not
Grand
going.
Victorian Casino.
as details come out about that, I believe we're going to try and make a concerted effort to be up there that weekend. So
I will
stay
if I'm
tuned.
not visiting family.
Correct. Correct.
Woot.
Donna,
I will be, but-
Don and I will be up there.
Woo, woo, woo.
Oh, and I don't think I ever said this on the podcast, but I told you guys that I didn't think I was going to be able to be at PopCon next year.
Did they change it?
It is changed. It is like at the end of June. So
Is
Yay.
this your family's vacation of
the
awesomeness?
Alaskan cruise, yes.
The Alaskan cruise of awesomeness. Yes, you have no idea how happy and how much I hate you all at the same time. Because I
Wow.
always wanted to go on an Alaskan cruise.
Shade.
I'm very happy for you, though. But in the same way, I love and hate Bonnie because she has a picture of her family with LeVar Burton on her refrigerator.
It's true.
I want to take it off. I don't want to take LeVar Burton home with me. But I did not.
All right, I've tallied up the votes. I mean, it was a very quick. There were only 6 of you to count, so it was very quick voting. Dawn, your character came in second with 2 votes, but overwhelmingly with 4 votes, Josh Marcher.
Jordan from Josh and Eddie.
With the social anxiety. say it.
Defeated.
So
Defeated the Jabberwocky.
The
Jordan
most literal.
will
one with
be
social anxiety
officially
has-
the acolyte of charisma.
This will be great. This is the best
Guy with
decision
a
ever.
social anxiety disorder.
He's
the acolyte
he is
of charisma.
completely
Hey,
uncomfortable with
Jordan, go talk to that guy. What?
But why?
So real quick, after we do a competition, we're going to have a small, quick discussion. And by quick, I mean no more than a minute each. And then we're going to close out and move on to the next thing. So what I want you to do, Josh, since you won, I want you to pick a person to your left and to your right. Okay? And one of them will be a person that you are distant relative of, and one will be a person that you are a rival island with. And go ahead and do that. Remember, you've never met them before, but these are things that you may have heard or your island people tell you.
I'll say that I'm a distant relative of Avital's character,
Iska?
Iska,
Make sure you write this down too, so you remember.
and I am a rival island of Debbie's character.
Triple D.
Triple D.
Triple D.
Rival island of Jordan's land.
Okay, now, bear in mind that someone else's answers may be different. So Deb may say that you are a distant relative of hers, not knowing that you are rivals.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
Okay,
Deb,
you
So
can
this is
still write
his
it down.
relationship.
so go ahead.
Still write it down,
And
but-
Deb, you go next, and we'll
Okay.
just go in a clockwise fashion that way.
Okay, so to my left and to my right, one of them is my rival and one of them is my distant relative,
And you get to choose.
and I can choose. Okay, well, I think that it would be hilarious that Jordan, the socially awkward, social,
The mayor of Josh
anxiety.
and Addie.
That's right. Is actually my distant relative because I came down there, going bananas, and he's like, I don't know. So he's my distant relative, and Vanessa's character, Hayes, their land is actually rival to mine. So I have to write all this down. There's too much going on here. All right, so
So do we?
Well, I'm a relative with Slogan,
Yeah.
and I am a rival with Triple D.
I'm going to say I am also a relative of Hayes and a rival to Josh's character that I can't remember the name of.
Elamon.
From Thomas Lake.
Thomas.
No, it's Thomas Lake.
Lake Thomas.
No, we call it Thomas Lake.
Vanvania.
Benvania is my
Well, then I will
is a rival.
keep that similar and make. What is your country again?
Daunton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. That's right. Downton Abbey will be our rival, and thus Iska is my distant relative.
Do we know that they think of us as a rival?
No, you have no idea. You've never met.
So I don't have to write down what everyone else thinks of me, or
Correct.
okay,
This will just be in how you treat them.
right. I'm gonna go with what's his name?
Gila Monster.
Elomon.
Elomon. You sound like a Pokemon or something like that.
Elamon.
Elomon.
It's
or
supposed to be
Digimon
like
in that.
I'm
Illuminate.
gonna go with Elomon as the relative, and Josh and Addie as the rival island.
All right, so now that we have done that, I think due to time, we're going to cut this episode here. We will pick up the next episode going on to find out who will be the acolyte of dexterity.
Ooh.
Do you have a fact? Or
I do.
you want
I
me to-
have
do you want me
two
to
of
pull
them,
out?
as a matter of fact.
Oh, wow.
As a matter of
Fact.
I'm not sure. Josh, do you remember? Did you establish a fact in episode 179, the Mach 180 episode?
I did, but I'd write it down because I'm
Oh,
not,
okay. All right,
inexperienced
that's fine.
host.
Okay. Well, on this episode 180 of the Established Facts, the part one of session 0 with Lance, the avatars of awesome. Oh, do we have another one as well? It's a Yagan.
It's a Yagan.
It's a Yagan.
Uh-huh.
Some people read. Those are great.
The Yeti and the Yeti and the
Deb
the
is a
dragon.
secret barbarian. Triple D is her name. And boldness is her game. I like that. Those are all established facts.
They are.
They are
You just
now.
read those so
I did.
lackadaisically.
Well, I'll read them again. I hadn't read them yet, so I don't read.
Obviously not.
All right. So on episode 180 of the Established Facts, here is your list of established facts.
You'll be tested next
That's right.
next episode.
It's a Yaggin! You'll be tested next episode. It's Christmas in August, and Deb is a secret barbarian. Triple D is her name, and boldness is her game. The two that I wrote down. Episode 180, brought to you by the letter G for gibberish, invented by the Jibber Jabber walkie-talkie. And the second one is Josh and Addie, population 10, team slogan, oh, hi, Mom. And finally, some people read. Thank you for joining us on episode 180. We will see you again soon, and we will check you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Please visit us at www.theestablishedfacts.com and our Facebook page, facebook.com/theestablishedfacts. If you would like to support us by buying some merchandise, visit catholipress.com/castingrobot.
Bonus!